Hey folks, in this video I'm going to take you through how to start drawing your pencil box. So the first thing you need to do is open up Fusion and just make sure you're on a blank file. We'll just start off by saving that file. So just hit the save icon or Control S on your keyboard and just give it a name. I'm going to call mine Pencil Box Year 7, and just make sure you know which location you're saving it in. So you can actually click the little black arrow next to the location. If you in the white space next to save, click and drag that window up so you can see the whole thing. You can find if you've made a Year 7 project folder in the past and chuck it in there, or you can create a new project folder now. Either way, make sure you know where you've saved it, and we're gonna hit save. So I can see that I've saved my document now. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is draw the front piece of my box. So I'm going to start off by hitting the word create here, and then I'm going to select new component. I'm going to give this component a name, so I'm going to name this one front. So where it says name, highlight that text and change it to front, and then okay. That's going to create a new component that we're drawing our front piece within. Okay, now I can start my sketch. So create sketch. I'm going to hit the front plane, so this one here, and I know it's the front plane because when I select it, my view cube says the word front. Okay, now I'm going to choose my rectangle tool. I'm going to start my drawing at the origin, and I'm going to hover up to the top right hand side. Now I'm going to put in dimensions that I made my box to. However, you may be making your box to a smaller size, so please put in whatever dimensions you've decided. So the height of my box is 65 millimeters. You might be doing yours to 65 or to 40. So whichever dimension you've decided on, oh sorry, I think it was 70 millimeters or 40, whichever you've decided on, put that number in there. Those are the two heights that the size of your timber can be. I'm going to press tab, so don't press enter, press tab and tab down to the other dimension, and this is going to be the length of my box, and I made mine 200 millimeters long. You may be making yours slightly longer or a bit shorter depending on what you're storing in your box, but either way put in whatever dimension you want there. Now when you started dimensioning, your dimension may have asked for your length first. That's fine, put your length first, then press tab and change your height. Okay, and then once you put both of those dimensions in, press enter and finish sketch. It should take you back to a 3D view. If it doesn't, hit your little house icon to get back to this view. We're now going to extrude this, so hit the extrude button. It should automatically detect your shape, and we're going to change the distance to 12 millimeters. That is the thickness of timber you are provided with, and okay. Now I'm going to draw my rebate joints on here. So I'm going to create a sketch on the front of this piece. I'm now going to grab my rectangle tool and just draw a rectangle from the corner down to the bottom. I want the height to be 70, the same as the height of my timber. So if yours is 40, that should say 40. Then press tab and change the width to 12. That should say 12, not 2. And enter. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So from the corner, hover down to the bottom. I want it to be 12 wide and 70 high, and enter. And that rectangle should cover the entire height of the block. And finish sketch. Again, if you're not looking at 3D view, hit your little house icon. Grab the extrude tool again. Click on the two rectangles we just drew. If you happen to accidentally select the rectangle in the middle, just click it again and that'll deselect it. So the only blue highlighted bit should be the rectangles we just drew. I'm going to change my distance to -6. This is going to tell the computer that I want to cut that material away. Once I've done that, I can press OK. Oh, I didn't draw that rectangle the whole way down. So I've made a little mistake there. So I could either Control Z and go back and redraw that, or I can actually modify the sketch. So I'm going to find it in the timeline. There it is. I'm going to double click and I'm just going to put a dimension on there and make sure that that is 70 mil and finish sketch, and that will update my extrusion. Okay, so if you ever make errors with dimensions, you can find the sketch where you drew things. So let's say you've realized you made your entire piece the wrong size. You can go back to your initial sketch that you drew by double clicking on it in the timeline, double click on the dimension you want to change, and you can change it that way. Okay, I'm just going to undo that because I don't need to do that for now. All right, the last thing I want to do with this component is put a texture on it to make it look like timber. So I'm going to press the letter A on my keyboard, A for appearance. You might need to click on this little button that says Fusion Appearances. Scroll right down until you see Wood Solid. Scroll down some more and go to the Finished. And then you're going to scroll down until you find Pine. You can either do glossy or semi-gloss, it's up to you, but either way, whichever one you want, click on the little arrow that'll download the material. Once it's finished downloading, the little blue box is gone. I can now click and drag that onto my timber and close. And I'm just going to hit save. Okay. I'm now going to draw the side piece. Before I can do that, I'm still active in my front component. So I'm going to go back to my main pencil box component and click the little white dot next to it. It's now active because it has a black dot inside of it. Now I can click Create New Component, and I'm going to call this one Sides. And OK. I've now got another component called Sides. I'm going to create a sketch. And this time I'm going to click inside the rebate that I drew. So just here on the flat part. So I should be looking at my long piece and see my rebates on either side. I'm going to be drawing over here. So I can just grab my rectangle and go from the corner of the block to the inside corner of the rebate. I want this to be the same size as the rebate. And I'm going to finish sketch. I'm now going to extrude that rectangle. I'm making mine 100 millimeters wide. Just remember, whatever width you go for, that 6 mil on both sides is going to be tucked inside the material. So the usable space I've got inside my box is 100 minus 12. Okay, so if you've got something that is 100 millimeters wide that you want to put inside your box, add an extra 12 millimeters to this measurement. I'm going to leave mine at 100 because I'm not having anything particularly stored in here. It's just for general bits and bobs. And then, okay. Last thing I need to do with this is make it look like timber. So I press A for appearance. I should be able to find the material that I've downloaded previously in my little library here. Otherwise, you can go back to the main library and find it. So mine are here. Okay, either way, click and drag it onto your piece. We're going to reactivate the main component by clicking on the white dot next to it and hit save. And those are my two sides finished. I'm going to stop this video here. The next video will show you how to copy these two components over to complete the box shape and then start making the base and lid.